second here. Okay, that just started doing that. Now let me go ahead and share screen. Share. I didn't get a chance to set up all my tabs. I had to restart my computer, so I apologize. I'll have to pull up some of these coins as I'm going. Let's start with Bitcoin. We got Bitcoin at 64.34, which is the USDT price on Binance for Bitcoin. Currently, it's sitting above the 9 EMA. It's looking, there's a downtick on the RSI, but that's typical when we have a red candle. And the MACD is looking bullish on the 1 hour time frame. As you can see, most of you guys that have been with me for a while know that I use the EMAs as my entries and exits. And as you can see here, the 200 EMA has been rejecting the price action of Bitcoin. So that's something that I like to point out, because those that have been with me for a little while know how important the 200 EMA is for our targets and how strong of a resistance the 200 EMA is when we reach that level in almost any time frame. So as you can see right now, Bitcoin is struggling with that 200 EMA. The order book doesn't look too bad. We've got almost an even amount of buyers and sellers, so it can really go either way at this moment. We have a little bit of a spread here. So we want this separation, this spread, to join together so that we can start seeing some movement. If you zoom in on this spread, you can see a clear gap. So there's a gap between the buyers and the sellers right now. So the price action really is not going to do much. The only price that's going on right now are the people who are market buying. But people who have orders placed are here. People who have orders placed for selling are here, and the buyers are here. And only the only fluctuation in price are those that are not putting their limit orders, but they're actually market buying. And that's where you see the couple of cents going back and forth here and there. But hopefully we see a little bit more of a momentum going into this weekend. We were talking about that yesterday on a Zoom session, that we haven't seen a green weekend in a really long time. And I'm hoping that this weekend might be different. There's nothing indicating that, so I'm not basing it on anything concrete. I'm just basing it just on my own speculation and really my own hope that we start seeing some green, being that we've been in a sideways action and on red weekends for such a long time. Ethereum at the moment is looking very similar to Bitcoin, except for the fact that it already broke above the 200 EMA, and it's found support above the 200 and also above the 9 EMA, which is really nice. The 1 hour time frame on the RSI is in the overbought conditions, very close to the overbought conditions, being that we've had this steady rise of Ethereum, and the MACD is topped out. So I do see a correction coming in for Ethereum fairly soon in the 1 hour time frame. Let me look at the 4 hour time frame and see what that looks like. The RSI is a better position on the 4 hour time frame. We're at 60 points, and 70 points is going to be our overbought conditions. The MACD is in a much better position. So it looks like we're going to be looking for a brief retracement on the 1 hour time frame. And if I had to speculate a position on where she might retrace to, I'm going to say the 200 EMA, just like it is when we're trying to break above the 200 EMA and it's a strong resistance, it's going to act as a strong support. And I'm hoping that when we lose the 9 EMA here on the 1 hour, that Ethereum bounces off the 200 or at least goes sideways for a while to allow the RSI to come down. And not only the RSI, but we need the MACD to come down some more and give us enough room to move back up in the 1 hour time frame. Bitcoin Cash had a really nice surge this morning. It went up, I think like 10-15%, I believe. Right now, it's coming back down. It's retracing. And I imagine it's going to land on the 9 EMA for support and then continue on its way up. This is the one that I've been talking about this week. I went in on this based on the hard fork news that I've seen this coin really, really take off in the past on news, much less bullish than a fork on Bitcoin Cash, and it has gone up. I've seen it run 300 to 700% on really almost no news, really dumb news, to be honest with you. And it ran up so much. So I don't anticipate this going 700%, guys. We're in a bear market. Back then, we're in a bullish market. So it's a very different time frame. But nevertheless, it is a very, very big catalyst for Bitcoin Cash. So I do expect, I don't know, I mean, I would like to see at least 50%. I don't think I'm asking too much for 50% in a bear market, but you never know. We're in a really extended bear market here. We've been on it all year long. It's already November. So, you know, we 11 months of a bear market. I don't know how much positive sentiment or how much really momentum we have in this market to see Bitcoin Cash do a 1 or 2x. I'm hoping it would, but that is going to be, we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. But I do anticipate a nice return on my investment. I mean, I already have a nice return on from this morning. And I don't worry about the retrace. That's going to happen. I'm staying into it. I'm staying inside of Bitcoin Cash up until I feel that as we get closer to the October 15th date, then I'm going to reassess and see where I'm at and probably ride my stop loss up. I'm not going to be holding it past the fork. I don't care about the one-on-one coin airdrop. If they're going to do an airdrop, I don't care about airdrops. I care more about my ROI because of the amount of money that I have riding on this is going to be much greater. In my opinion, the ROI is going to be much greater than any coin they can give me. So that's how I'm going to be playing this. But I don't have an exact target date. It's still too early. It's barely the 2nd of November. We still got 13 days. That's a long, long time in crypto. So that's where Bitcoin Cash stands for me. BAT, I've been calling it. I've been talking about it. I was not sure that it was going to be listed on Coinbase. I've been very clear on that. It was just pure speculation based on the prior price action. Like I mentioned before on DGB, had the very, very similar price action. I've been saying this for weeks now. That I had a very strong feeling because I study price action. And that goes to show you guys the importance of staring at the charts, looking at different coins, looking at the way they behave, keeping an eye on that, remembering that, guys, keeping a mental note or written note. In my case, it's a mental note of when coins behave a certain way. When you see those similar patterns behave in different coins, you can kind of help you to understand what might happen. Remember, guys, we play in the game of probability. Nothing is certain. And TA is exactly that. TA is to give you the best probable outcome of what might happen. So basically, TA is to help you have an educated guess. What we're doing right now is guessing. This is gambling, guessing. Nothing is concrete. Nothing is for sure. But the advantage that we have with TA versus gambling in Vegas, that we have a price action that we can follow and that we can look at that helps us to give a much better educated decision of what might happen, because these coins all behave in a very similar manner most of the time, not all the time. So based on that past behavior, it allows us to have a little bit of an insight into what might happen in the future and give us that educated probable guess. And that's basically what I did here. And it played out to my favor. But it might not the next time. But nevertheless, it's an interesting. For me, it was an interesting observation that 2 coins already that I noticed had very weird price action in the order book and in the candles played out the exact same way. They were both added to some bullish news. One was added to they were both added to an exchange, but Coinbase, I don't really see it as an exchange. Well, Coinbase Pro is an exchange, but not your typical exchange is what I meant to say. So now I'm curious to see what's the next one that's going to be added. I'm going to be keeping my eye on XLM, ADA, and I believe it's Zcash, the other 3 that are going to be listed. So I'm going to be looking at those price actions to see if I can see some sort of correlation to what I've seen with the past 2 coins. And once I can see that, and if I see that, I will let you guys know what my educated guess will be for the next coin. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be right. Just keep that in mind, guys. XLM right now is pumping really nice. Now, this just can be, you know, a lot of things. This can be just exuberance from the bat listing. People know that now we're down to 3. So that could be a reason, but we just really don't know if I don't know really yet if this is going to be the next one listed. I think it's still too soon, and I'm going to have to study the price action a little bit further and see how this plays out. I've got that was that. Okay, that's XLM. Let me open up. What else are we in? Let's look at Neo. I've got to set up my browsers, guys. I had to restart my computer, so I lost my browsers. So let me just pull up Neo. We got Neo is also, what is Neo running? No, it's not. It's above the 9 EMA, above the 200, which is a great sign on the 1 hour. We are on the borderline of overbought conditions on the RSI, but the MACD still looks like it has some room to play, and it is on neutral right now. Yeah, it's neutral. The MACD is neutral. We have a little bit of room to go up on the 1 hour time frame. Let me look at the 4 hour time frame and see if I could see a better give a better idea of what it might look moving into the day or into the weekend. Let me yeah, no, this has to come down some more. The 4 hour time frame has pretty much reached the overbought. It has some momentum, as you can see here, for the past day or so. So that is reflected on the RSI, and it's also reflected on the MACD. So I imagine at this point, Neo is probably going to see some cool down for the next day or so before it starts moving back up. We are approaching the weekend. We are in the weekend, which it's Friday. So let's see if this continues this weekend. If not, hopefully we'll see a continuation for the middle part of, for the beginning part of next week. What is another one that you guys wanted me to look at? I had the charts, but I restarted my computer and I lost it. And I had some requests that you guys gave me that you guys asked for on Discord. That ontology. Okay, perfect. ONT. Thank you. I'm looking at ADA. Okay, I'm looking at the chat right now. So I got ONT and ADA. Let me look at that right now. And those, I'm in those positions, so I should be looking at those. When I buy them, I set my sell orders and I forget about them, and so I don't have them in front of me. But once my alerts go off, it tells me I sold and I'm good. That's one thing, guys. Try to keep that in mind. I see that I'm still seeing a lot of that in the Discord general chat. You guys, when you guys buy something, you guys should already have an idea of where you want to sell it. Whatever target system you're using, that's fine. It doesn't matter. But have a sell order already placed when you buy it. The moment you buy it, well, if you guys use stop losses, it's different. I don't use stop losses, so my strategy is a little bit different. I buy it and I put my automatic sell order, and if it drops, it drops. I don't really care. But I put my sell orders on top. But you guys that are new, definitely have your stop losses. So you cannot put your sell order at the same time, not just yet anyhow. So I would at least have some alerts. This way, you guys are not going in and out of trade so much. I see you guys are still doing that. You take a position, then another coin pumps, and you get out of that position to go into buy into the FOMO, into the POMO pump, and then the other coin that you just got out of starts running, and you guys are complaining, oh my God, I just got out of this coin, and now it's running. Now the other one's flagging out. You guys should never be doing that. I would never advise you to do that. You should not be taking money out of one coin to put into another one. If you're doing that, that means you're going all in one coin, and that's another thing you shouldn't be doing. You should always have plenty of money on the side to go into other coins that are going. You should never have all your money in one. And most of you guys are doing that because you wouldn't be selling out of one coin to go into the other coin if you had money on the side left over. And that's a really bad trade, guys. You guys are here to learn how to become professional traders. You guys are doing this, and I see you guys doing it over and over again in the general chat. I read every single message, guys. I might not read it in real time, but the moment I turn on my phone and I open up Discord, it'll say 273 messages unread, and I go through every single one of those. So I know what you guys are thinking. I know what you guys are doing, and I'm really seeing a lot of this go on. And if you guys want to do this as a hobby, go ahead. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Those that want to take this seriously, those that want to make trading a profession and want to live off of it, you will never become a professional trader if you're going all in on a coin and if you're bouncing around from coin to coin. And the most important, if you don't have the patience to let your trade play out. We're in a bear market. Every time we go in on a trade, it's almost guaranteed it's going to drop some. That's okay. That is part of trading. Let it go down. Who cares? Once you buy it, set your alerts when it's approaching your sell target and look at it when you get your alerts. You should not be looking at it on a daily basis. Just wait until your alerts hit and then start looking at it and see if your calculations for the exit were correct or if you need to adjust it. And but this playing back and forth between coins, you guys are never really going to advance if you guys continue to do that. That's just, you know, my advice to you guys. You guys can take it for what it's worth. I'm going to look at, did I go through ONT? I don't think I did. ONT has dropped below the 9 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. It's sitting on the 50 EMA, which is a really strong support. You can see back here where it's really held the price action. And we do have a downtick on the RSI, but that's because of the red candle. But we're sitting in a really nice position. We're at 46 points below the halfway mark on the RSI, so we're in a good position for ONT to hopefully, if we get enough volume in, that we see it move back up to the upside. Oh yeah, it looks like we have enough buyers and enough sellers. All we need to do is close the spread here. We need to get these guys to agree to sell it a little bit lower, and we need to have these guys agree to buy it a little bit higher, and we got some nice movement. But this is the type of scenario that I want to see when I click on an order book on Coinigy or TradingView, that I see this here. This is beautiful. This has a lot of potential to run. ONT looks really good for another move up. Let's look at, and I'm already in ONT, so I don't have to worry about it. ADA, USDT. Okay, here we go. ADA had a nice little run here. We are in the overbought condition on the 1 hour time frame, and the MACD is going to start turning bearish. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame and see if we have some more room for. I gotta refresh my page. Give me 1 second. My computer is acting on me today, and I just lost my indicators. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're getting rejected by the 100 EMA. You can see perfectly here. We still have some room to move. So I'm going to say that when the 9 EMA crosses the 50, it's going to push this price action above the 100, but we will not cross the 200 EMA, not on this move. There's no way that's happening unless we get some crazy announcement from ADA that's going to be a FOMO candle. That's the only way this is going to happen. And the reason I can say that confidently is because those who have been studying my EMAs and know how they work and know how strong the 200 EMA, you guys already know that if you're going to cross a 200 EMA, you cannot cross it from down here. And from down here is where this price action started. This momentum to get to the 200 is starting from this point here. From yesterday at 1 p.m., we've been going up and up. We had a little correction here, but nevertheless, this whole move is from yesterday at 1 p.m. So in order to cross this 200 EMA, we're going to have to cross the 100, get rejected, and then use this as support to basically catch the price action's breath, kind of get a cool down to get the thrust and the momentum and the strength that we're going to need to cross this 200 and break through that 200 EMA. We're not going to make it in this move, so this will be a little while. If we break through here, the most we're going to get out of ADA is going to be 0.07650. We'll call it for a round number. So that's ADA. Let me look at the chat. Anybody can give me some ideas of what you want me to look at before I end this. REQ. Okay, I'm going to look at REQ, and that'll be the last one, and then I'm going to cut the TA short, and then we'll go into some Q&A, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit further about BAT and about my look on it and what I think it's going to happen. Let me look at REQ real quick, please. Give me 1 second. I gotta restart my computer. Now, excuse me, I got to refresh my my browser here. 1 hour time frame. Oh, looks terrible. Nothing's going on. Could this be right, or is it my screen? There we go. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Okay, so we saw REQ, I believe, was one that ran really hard. So we saw it run here. We saw it come down and cool off, and now it's basically cooling off. It basically cooled off. The 1 hour time frame looks really good on the RSI, and the MACD is still trying to find a bottom. However, the price action on is hanging on for dear life on the 100 MA. If it loses that, we're going to go back down to here. We're going to go back down to the next major support. That's going to be right here at, let me put this green, right here at 773 Satoshis, right around there. Let's look at a higher time frame and see, okay, yeah, so we had this move here, we had this cool down here, and from the looks of it, it's still trying to cool down some more. So more than likely, we are probably going to hit the 773 before seeing some sideways action, and then hopefully a continuation back up. I don't know anything about REQ. I mean, I know what the coin does, but I don't know anything as why it ran the way it did the other day. But nevertheless, it's retracing from that run. Let's put a fib level on it, guys, just for TA purposes. Let's see what it did. Give me 1 second here, and let's see where it retraced to. We came down to 786. Perfect. That's a perfect level of retracement. We got a double bottom here at 786. Now it's starting to move up here, but it did lose the momentum, and it's losing the price action right here, and it did land exactly on the 100 EMA. So if it loses that, we've got the 200 EMA, and look where it lands. It lands right on our support line. So that's more than likely, I'm 90% sure that's where it's going to bounce from. And I don't think it's going to breach that. It's probably going to stay here for some time until whatever the powers may be that will want to see this move up again. Maybe some announcements or something going on with REQ that I'm not aware of. It's a very low cap coin for me to even mess with, so I have no idea why it even ran in the first place. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the TA portion of it. Stay with me, guys. I'm just going to end the recording, but you guys are going to stay live as far as what I'm recording itself, just so that the TA guys can go ahead and